BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I'm coming to you with my November 2024 wrap-up and stats video. It has been an age since I have done a wrap-up and stats video. So I'm excited to do this. I have my spreadsheet open up in front of me here so I can share the stats and stuff with you. And then what I'm going to do, typically what I would do is I would share my top 5 reads of the month. And I'm not going to do that this month. I'm going to share my top 4 because I had 2 5-star reads and 2 4.5-star reads. So I'm going to share that with you, but let's get into, my stats. So, in the month of November, I read 15 books, you guys. I am so unbelievably pleased with that. That is a lot for me because over the last year and a half, as you guys are well aware, my reading has not been where it used to be. With my health and the things that I've been dealing with and the uncertainty has been really, really taking a toll mentally and on my reading and on the things that I enjoy. And now that the dark part is behind us, or behind me, I should say, I can concentrate more on the things that I love. And one of those things, of course, is reading. And I'm so, so, so happy to be back reading again. It's just a joy for me. And yeah, I am looking forward to an even better December. So yay. And next year I'm going to rock it. So I can't wait. Grand total pages were 3,654 pages read for the month. Now that includes audiobooks. I do count audiobook pages. I also count audiobook hours. Just to see how many hours of audio I listen to. And in case you're curious, it's 31 hours and 24 minutes. And that's at a one-time, that's at the length of the audiobook. Not me counting it because I read the audiobooks typically at a 1.5 speed. That's the, you know what I mean. Anyway, I had 4 rereads this month, which were all Baby Stars Club books. And I had 2 library checkouts this month as well. And I did not acquire any books. So the genres that I read 8 romance novels, no surprise to anyone, 4 children's fiction novels, 2 mystery books, and 1 humor and satire novel. All 15 books that I read this month were full-length novels, I'm just kind of going through the stats here. I read 4 audiobooks and 11 ebooks. And in terms of my star ratings, I read 1 3-star novel, 2 3.5-star books, 8 4-star books, 2 4.5-star, and 2 5-star, as I already mentioned. My average rating for the month was 4.1. I did have a DNF, but I didn't mark it. It was the Nora Roberts book. I only got a chapter into it. I didn't count that really as a DNF. That was more of a try the chapter, see what I thought, and I just knew I wasn't going to be interested. The shortest book that I read this month in terms of page count was Bedtime Stories for Privileged Children by Daniel Fox. Came out at 128 pages. And that was also the shortest audiobook. Came in at an hour. And the longest book read in page count, nope, hold on. Let me double check this here. Bear with me just 1 second, guys. That stat is not correct. Let me just correct that here while we are sitting here. Bear with me. Let me go back. Okay, so here we go. So the shortest book I read in pages, was a toss-up between Christie's Great Idea and Claudia and the Phantom Phone Calls. Both came in at 153 pages. The shortest audiobook listened to was Bedtime Stories for Privileged Children by Daniel Fox, coming in at an hour. The longest book read in terms of page count was Spring at Saddle Run by Dolores Fawson. I did start that one on audio, but ended up reading the bulk of it on my Kindle, and that came in at 352 pages. And the longest audiobook I listened to was The Slowest Burn by Sarah Chamberlain at 11 hours and 12 minutes. So the subgenre of the books that I read 1 historical, 10 contemporary novels, 1 inspirational, 2 cozy mysteries, and 1 suspense. 9 of the books that I read were on my Kindle. 1 of them was on my Kobo. 3 of them were from Audible. 1 was from Hoopla, and 1 was from the Toronto Public Library. Let's see, what else have I got here? I read 11 books geared towards an adult audience, and 4 that were middle grade. 10 of the books that I read were part of a series. 5 of the books were standalone. And this is a fun one. I do like this quite a bit. So they have a thing here on this spreadsheet that I use that gives you the colors on the cover. So the most prominent color on the cover, which I think is kind of fun. So 3 of the books were blue, 4 were green, 1 was orange, 3 were pink, 2 were purple, 1 was red, and 1 was yellow. Again, I just think that that's super fun. 2 of the books that I read were actually set in merry old England, and the other 13 were set in the good old US of A. All 15 of the books were fiction novels. I just want to see what other kind of stats are here. Again, I'm doing this on the fly, just looking at my spreadsheet. And I think that is all that I have. Yeah. I've got the years published here, but that one's not as interesting. So yeah, so there are my stats for the month of November. And let's get into the books that I loved this month. So the first one, of course, was Christy's Great Idea. I am rereading again through the Babysitters Club. Don't judge me. 5-star read. I'm not even going to bother talking about it. I've talked about this one before. I love it. I love it. I love it. My other 5-star read is The Lost and Found Sisters by Jill Shalvis. This one I loved as well. This is the first book in the Wildstone series. It is a great romance, contemporary romance bordering on women's fiction. It does deal a lot with not only a romance between our 2 main characters, Quinn and, is it Mitch? I think it's Mitch. Quinn and Mitch, but also the relationship that Quinn has with this new sister and her family dynamics. So it's a good mix between the 2. And I really, really, really enjoyed this book. I absolutely recommend this series. This one was a reread for me. I picked it up on a whim on audio. I had it on Audible and I decided to give it a reread just because it made me happy. And I'm looking forward to continuing on with the rest of the Wildstone series. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then for my 4.5-star reads, the first one was a Harlequin historical novel, and this was The Scandalous Widow by Elizabeth Rolls. It was the first book that I finished this month, and this book was absolutely delightful. I have talked about it before. I know several of you have actually read it based on my recommendation, and I'm super glad of that. It was fabulous, absolutely fabulous, about a woman who was widowed, and she gets custody of her nieces, and there was a relationship between her and her brother's solicitor. And there's a whole other lot of drama going on in the background, and it was delightful. Absolutely recommend it. And my other 4.5-star read was, again, Bedtime Stories for Privileged Children by Daniel Fox. I read this one recently. It was an hour long on audio. Daniel Fox, I am such a big fan of his comedy. Yeah, this one was a delight. If you're going to read this one, I absolutely recommend it on audio, mainly because he narrates it, and I think that adds to it. I do have a physical copy of the book in hardcover. I bought it because I love the look of the book and I just think it's going to look delightful on my bookshelves. But this is one that you need to listen to. He is a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian. And I think the only way you can appreciate this book is by him reading it to you, if that makes sense. And these are just tongue-in-cheek stories that he has written for privileged children. So talking about like these kids who are like going on vacation and they see these people living in, why are their houses so small? And there's nanny 1 and nanny 2 and, they go in their Range Rover and, mommy's having an affair and daddy's, doing a Ponzi scheme. And it's tongue in cheek. It's very British humor. They're delightful. I really enjoy them. They're not for everybody, I'm going to be honest. But if you're interested, I recommend that you check out Daniel Fox's Instagram and check out some of his like shorts and stuff like that he does, like his videos, and see whether or not you like his humor. And if you do, then pick up the book. So it's kind of a way of being able to try them and see if you like that style of humor. So yeah, he's a delight. Also hosts a podcast with another comedian named Dane, and they're actually really good friends. It's called Welcome to Hell, and it's hilarious, and I love it. And yeah, anyway, I recommend that book. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, I had a really good reading month, you guys. I am super happy. And like I said, I'm looking forward to an even better December. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, how did your reading month go for the month of November? And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.